Some tests measure your strength. Others measure your courage. But the hardest tests, they measure your heart. This is the story of a father who was asked to give up the one thing he waited his entire life for. This is the story of the day faith and love collided on a lonely mountaintop. Abraham was 100 years old when his son, Isaac, was born. He was a miracle child, a living, breathing promise from God. Isaac's laughter filled the tents of Abraham's camp, a constant, joyful reminder of God's goodness. Every smile that crossed the boy's face felt like a prophecy fulfilled. To Abraham, Isaac wasn't just a son, he was destiny. He was his legacy. He was the future of entire nations, all wrapped up in one little boy. But God was about to ask for something Abraham could have never imagined, something no father could ever prepare for. One night, as the camp slept and the fire died down to glowing embers, Abraham heard a voice call his name. Abraham? He froze, his heart pounding in his chest. Here I am, he whispered into the darkness. Then came the command that shattered the silence in his entire world. Take your son, your only son, Isaac, whom you love, and offer him as a sacrifice on a mountain I will show you. The words hit Abraham like stones. He couldn't breathe. His heart felt like it had cracked in two. How could the same God who promised him Isaac now demand Isaac's life? There was no explanation. There was no answer from the heavens, only the horrifying instructions. At dawn, Abraham saddled his donkey. He split the wood for the sacrifice himself, his hands shaking, his eyes blurred with unshed tears. His heart was bleeding with every swing of the axe. Isaac walked beside him, innocent and unaware, just excited for a journey with his father. For 3 long days, they traveled in near silence. 3 days of a father stealing tearful glances at his son. 3 days of a man wrestling with a command that made no sense. Every night, as Isaac slept soundly by the fire, Abraham would look up at the stars and whisper, God, I don't understand this, but I trust you. On the 3rd day, Abraham saw it in the distance. The mountain, the place of sacrifice, the place of complete and total surrender. As they began to climb, Isaac turned to his father, his young voice cutting through the heavy air. Father? He asked, holding the wood they had carried. We have the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the offering? Abraham's throat tightened. He fought to keep his voice steady. My son, he managed to whisper, God himself will provide the lamb. Isaac simply nodded. He trusted his father completely. Abraham prayed with every fiber of his being that he was right to trust God. At the top of the mountain, Abraham built an altar, stone by stone. Each one felt like a final goodbye. He arranged the wood. Then, with a voice breaking with sorrow, he told Isaac what God had commanded. And Isaac didn't run. He didn't fight. He didn't scream. He simply lay down on the altar. He trusted the Father who trusted God. Abraham gently tied his son's hands, tears streaming down his face, blurring his vision. He picked up the knife. He raised his trembling arm high. In that moment, it felt like the entire world held its breath. The earth stood still. Isaac watched his father, and Abraham watched the heavens. And then, a voice thundered from the sky, shattering the awful silence. Abraham! Abraham! He froze, the knife held in midair. Do not lay a hand on the boy, the voice commanded. Do not do anything to him. For now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son. Abraham let the knife fall from his hand. He stumbled back, his legs weak with relief. Isaac gasped for air, his eyes wide, and at that exact moment, they heard a rustling in a nearby thicket. There, caught by its horns in the branches, was a ram. God had provided the sacrifice. It was never meant to be Isaac. It was never about taking his son. Father and son collapsed into each other's arms, their sobs of relief and gratitude echoing on the mountaintop. Abraham named that place, "The Lord will provide." And on that mountain, a father's broken heart was made whole. A son's life was spared, and God's promise was sealed forever. You see, God never wanted Isaac's death. He wanted Abraham's heart. He wanted to know, would Abraham trust him even when the command made no sense? Would he obey even when it meant breaking his own heart? Would his faith lead him to surrender everything? That mountain wasn't a place of death. It was a place of revelation. It was the place where Abraham learned that what God asks from you is never greater than what God will give to you. Right now, you might feel like you're climbing your own mountain. You might be carrying a burden you don't understand, following instructions that are breaking your heart. Maybe you're walking in silence, filled with fear and confusion. But I want you to hear this. God sees you. He knows your pain, and He has already prepared your ram in the thicket. Your test is not the end of your story. Your surrender is not your loss. Your mountain is not your grave. Sometimes God takes you to the very edge, not to push you off, but to show you that even there, He will provide. Abraham lifted the knife, but it was God who lifted the promise. Thanks for watching. If this story touched you, please like and subscribe for more content that explores the depths of faith and the human heart.